Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and on this episode, I'm going to be talking about a shark movie unlike anything you've ever seen. I mean, sure, the Jaws franchise had a big shark, but this movie has a big shark that's also mean. In fact, it's downright cruel. It's Cruel Jaws. That's actually the name of the movie, Cruel Jaws. Now you're probably thinking, seriously, Mark? All they did was take Jaws and add cruel to it. Yeah? Well, adjectives make everything better. I mean, just look at the name of this show. If it was just movies with Mark, people would just, breeze right past it. Nah. But since it's weird movies with Mark, hopefully people on the internet see it and go, oh, what's going on here? That's at least what I'm hoping will happen. I've been doing this for 10 years, guys. I'm just trying to get people to watch the show. Also, think about this. A movie called Godzilla, that's pretty cool. But a movie called Angry Godzilla? Now, that's a must-see. I mean, why is he angry? What happened? You gotta see it to find out. It's just like the movie Drive. Good movie. Drive Angry? Cool movie too. Not as good, but still very cool. So let's take a look at the poster. Now, again, you might be thinking, Mark, come on, this is just a blatant ripoff of Jaws. Just look at these posters for the other Jaws movies compared to this one. Well, that's where you're wrong, my friend, because none of these posters have an explosion in them. Now, allegedly, this movie uses unauthorized footage from the Jaws franchise. And to that I say, prove it. There is plenty of footage of sharks out there. This could be from anywhere. Any shark. Because in case you didn't know, the ocean is full of them. Well, there's not as many as there used to be because I think a lot of them are endangered, but it's still, there's a lot. But here's the truth about Cruel Jaws. Cruel Jaws is what you get when you order Jaws off of Wish.com. It also comes with the Wish versions of Matt Damon, Hulk Hogan, He-Man, and of course, the Wish version of the Jaws theme song. So the movie starts off on this boat with some good old exposition.
There was top secret Navy material on board the Cleveland. We're going down to retrieve it. We're gonna sell it, and we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, we're gonna be so rich. Just you wait and see. Once we find all that top secret stuff, we don't really know what it looks like or what it is, but I'm sure they'll label it, right? It should have like a label on it. It says top secret or something like that. Also, am I supposed to keep spitting on this thing? I don't really know what I'm doing. I've never been diving before. And also, this feels kind of tight. Is anybody else's tight? And this is just a jacket. I couldn't afford the whole diving suit, so I just bought the headpiece. This is going to be a problem. So while the divers go look for the top secret waterproof material, the captain sits and drinks, which is weird because it seems like he's the only other person on this boat. So then, who's this guy? Anyways, the divers are in some kind of underwater cave when Cruel Jaws appears, and this is where we get our first look into just how cruel Jaws can be. Cruel Jaws can't fit through the cave hole, so fine. It's just gonna ram into the rocks over and over again until the hole is plugged up. I'd say that's pretty cruel. I mean, what are they going to do now? How are they going to get out? So they set off an explosive charge and get out of there. But Cruel Jaws is ready and waiting. And that's probably what you were expecting to happen. But Cruel Jaws is going to take it one step further and go after the boat. And oh my God, I can only imagine what's going to happen now. Oh, okay, I guess the scene is over. Yeah, it's getting good and now it's done. Anyways, now we have Billy and Vanessa going to Hampton Bay to visit the Sorensen Aquarium. And look at young Susie Sorensen swimming with the dolphins, having a great time. Oh, wait, she's disabled. That's a bummer. Gee, you don't have to look so disappointed, Vanessa. I'm sure that makes her feel a lot better about her disability. By the way, these zoom-in shots, get used to them because they're everywhere. So apparently there was an accident that left Susie in a wheelchair, and another accident that took away Vanessa's social graces.
It was terrible. When we heard about the accident, we just couldn't believe it.
It's a terrible thing, all right. In a split second, I lost everything. I lost my wife, my will to live, most of all, Susie's smile.
Well, that's too bad. But on the plus side, at least Dag Sorensen still has his aquarium. I mean, yeah, losing the will to live sucks, but dolphins.
I'm sorry, this isn't a social call. I have an order to evict from Samuel Lewis. We've got to be out of here in 30 days. Hey, Billy!
How you doing, Sheriff?
Good. How's your research going?
Pretty good. This winter I'm sailing on the Cuddy Shark.
Wow, talk about a mood changer. I mean, I love how Billy just steps in front of Dag like, yeah, I guess we're gonna talk about me now. So now we have this couple running on the beach when suddenly they run into the decayed corpse of one of the divers from the beginning of the movie. Ugh! Well, I don't want to go swimming now. The water's probably all dirty. Let's do lunch. So the cop takes Billy to the human remains and is like, hey, Billy, did a boat propeller do this or something else? And Billy is like, I don't know, maybe a shark did it or a killer whale. And the cop is like, damn it, Billy, I need an answer right now. So why is it so important to get an answer right then and there? So that if it is a shark, you can warn all the beachgoers? Well, I hate to break it to you, but this place isn't exactly Daytona during spring break. All right, everybody, the beach is closed. I need everybody out of the water. All 6 of you. So they do an autopsy and determine it was a shark, but then Sam Lewis, who is, I don't know, some rich guy who is the one trying to evict Dag Sorensen and also runs the annual regatta celebration, is trying to prevent the sheriff from closing the beach because the season is about to start and the regatta celebration is right around the corner. Which is weird. This whole sequence of events feels very familiar. It almost reminds me of Jaws. But you know what this movie has that Jaws doesn't? A loud version of Matt Damon.
There's only one shark that can do a job like this.
And which one is that?
The tiger shark. From the judge of things, it's gotta have a mouth like this.
So now we have Ronnie and, I'm too lazy to remember this guy's name, sidekick guy. And it turns out Ronnie is mad because his sister is interested in Dag Sorensen's son, Bob.
Looks like your little sister has a crush on the Viking son.
And to make matters worse, Ronnie is hot for Vanessa, who is clearly dating Billy. I mean, they drove into town together in this RV. So if it isn't clear yet, Ronnie and sidekick guy are clearly the bad guys here. Real sleaze bags. And if you need any more convincing, just check out this totally realistic dialogue.
Did you see that? A super babe. She tits on her like watermelon. You like them all as long as they're breathing. Hey, that's enough, isn't it? Nah, hold it.
What do you want?
I'm the person in charge of pussy. I have to, check your credentials.
Dick brain, dick brain, dick brain.
And it turns out Ronnie is actually Ronnie Lewis, son of Sam Lewis. And now it seems like an all-out war is brewing between the Sorensens and the Lewises. So now we have this couple who go into the water. There's another shark attack here, but it's really just a mashup of different types of footage. And in the end, the guy just leaves his girlfriend to get eaten. And okay, this is ridiculous. Obviously they tried to shoot day for night here, but it clearly doesn't work. This doesn't look like nighttime. It just ends up looking like they shot on the wrong film stock. It's clearly daytime, just blue daytime. So this is where Ronnie decides to confront his sister about hanging out with Bob Sorensen. Ah, those goddamn Sorensens, I hate them so much! You know, the Sorensens, they own an aquarium! Oh, goddamn Sorensens! Them and their stupid marine life entertainment. Duh! Wouldn't it be funny if the plot twist was that Ronnie was actually the good guy, and the reason he hated the Sorensens is because he was just really against animal captivity? You know, you goddamn SeaWorld knockoff bastards keeping the dolphins in the water. Did you see Blackfish? Did you see it? Probably not, because it's not coming out for another... When was this movie made? 20 years. So they beat up Bob, and oh wow, a zoom out for a change. You never know what's coming in Cruel Jaws. So they break into the aquarium and sneak around in all black. Remember, this is supposed to be nighttime. A nighttime where the sun is really beating down, reflecting off the water. Anyways, they try to poison the dolphins with tainted fish, and Ronnie gets mad because the dolphins won't just jump up and grab the fish out of his hands. So he throws it into the water out of frustration, which is what he should have done in the first place. Anyways, they're like, let's get out of here, and they leave the bag with the other poisoned fish just sitting there. So Billy helps bring the dolphin back to perfect health and then does his research by looking at slides of sharks. I'm sure this is a big part of being a marine biologist. Looking at pictures. Wouldn't that just be the best part of the job? Just looking at slides? Like if you just didn't feel like working that day, it'd just be the best excuse. That's all right, just I'm studying these sharks today. Ooh, look at that one. It's a big one. Oh, it's a lot of teeth. Lot of teeth. Sharp.
Oh, hi, Francis.
Oh, don't sneak up on me like that. I thought you were a shark.
Billy, what do we know about sharks?
Well, we know that they're a sort of locomotive with a mouth full of butcher's knives. And all they really know how to do is swim, eat, and make baby sharks.
I like how this scene is just here to say what everyone else in the world already knows. Okay, Billy, what do we know about sharks? Well, they swim in the water, and they like to eat things, which could be bad if they decide to eat people. That could be bad for us, and for any people that are in the water, because that's where the sharks are. So you mean to tell me, if we move forward with this big event we're planning, to have a lot of people in the same water where there's already been multiple shark attacks, there could be more shark attacks? Oh my god. Anyways, Sam tells Dag that if he vacates the land now, he'll give him a big sum of cash that will last him for years.
You leave right away, I'll give you a nice hunk of cash. It'll keep you going for a couple of years, all right?
You're some kind of a son of a bitch, Sam.
What did you say?
I said you're a son of a bitch!
Okay, how do you not take that deal? I mean, you're being evicted because you're behind on payments, which would mean that the aquarium isn't pulling in any money. So now the landlord who is evicting you because you don't have any money is offering you a large sum of money if you leave early. Enough money that will last you for years? What? Hello? So now Sam is trying to convince the mayor not to cancel the regatta event, and the sheriff is trying to convey the seriousness of the situation. And what better way to do that than with a zoom in? So they decide to go ahead with the regatta celebration and put shark nets in the water and have the Coast Guard patrol the water in helicopters. And remember my aerobicide video that I did where I talked about how the role of the police detective in that movie would be a role I would love to play? Well, the sheriff in this movie comes in at a close second.
Well, have it your way. But remember, you're the ones who wanted to open up a diner for sharks.
So Billy and Vanessa are supposed to go out and party with friends tonight, but the sheriff comes over because he needs Billy's help. And Vanessa has had enough.
Once and for all, Billy, it is the fish or me.
Vanessa, are you serious? Have you ever been to Red Lobster? Especially during Shrimp Fest. Oh my god. The point I'm trying to make is that fish are delicious. All sea life is. The ocean is just full of flavors. You'd have to be crazy to give that up. And yeah, I guess studying them, you know, that'd be cool too, but Shrimp Fest, like, so Vanessa goes out and gets involved with something worse than drugs and alcohol. Bad writing and horrible acting.
Ooh, everybody's here. They're gonna die when they see you dressed like this.
Look who's talking. You know, Tommy, you give off a certain animal magnetism.
Hey, I'm a sex machine. I even got a spare set of balls.
Vanessa agrees to go out into the bright blue sun with Ronnie, And believe it or not, this scene actually sounds dumber than it looks. Anyways, they shoot a shark from a helicopter and they're like, look, we caught the shark. Everything is all good now. But Billy, the close talker, isn't so sure.
I'm not saying that it isn't him. It probably is. They're very ferocious and very rare in these waters. But the fact of the matter is, Dak, this jaw span just doesn't convince me.
Wait, what are you saying here?
You want to be sure, Mayor? You want to be sure, Mr. Lewis? All you have to do then is open him up and see what's in his stomach.
And Billy is even more suspicious. For some reason, he thinks that someone has trained the shark to attack and kill. Why does he think this? I don't know. Because the shark has killed people? Pretty sure that's happened before throughout history. It's not like the shark is sneaking into people's houses with a silenced 9mm. So now it's time for the big race, but Ronnie sees Bob hanging with his sister again. And what is it with everyone in this movie and having some sort of testicle mutilation fascination?
I'll rip his balls off and use them for earrings. I like to rip his balls off. I'll tear his f***ing balls off.
And now we have probably some of my favorite shots in the movie, because they are about to attempt to make these shots of Ronnie and Bob, which are obviously shot on land, look like they are shot on the water. I mean, look at this. They're supposed to be in the water here. It's not even close. And here we go. The race is on. And wow, look at Ronnie and Bob. They're neck and neck. It's almost as if they're not moving at all. Such intense action, which is not only ramped up by the fact that the shark is trying to break into the area, but by Ronnie's intimidating smack talk.
You're disgusting! You're a piece of shit! You're vomit! You're a nobody!
But here's the part where Ronnie lives up to his reputation and decides to play dirty. Wow, amazing. We finally got a shot of them in the water. But the weird thing is, this is a race, and this shot appears to show them not moving at all. Almost as if they were so far ahead of everybody that they decided to stop and take a break. And oh no, it looks like Cruel Jaws has bitten through the net. Another act of extreme cruelty. I mean, someone probably spent a lot of time making that net, setting it up, and now it's all ruined. It's real nice, Cruel Jaws. Yeah. Very, very inconsiderate. And to make matters worse, everyone forgets what they're doing and just starts falling into the water. Even Ronnie. Well, it looks like he's done for, but look, it's Bob to the rescue. If there is a sequel to this movie, it should be called Cruel Jaws 2, Considerate Bob. Because Bob is just trying to be such a nice guy here. And I'll be honest with you, if it was me, I don't know, in this situation, I think I'd pull the whole, Ronnie, you're way too far out. I kind of, I can't swim out there. Oh, sorry. I mean, this guy's like beating you up relentlessly because you want to date his sister. And I'm not advocating murder here. I'm just saying, if the shark got him and you somehow couldn't get to him in time, well, I guess that would solve the problem, right? Sometimes on this show, I get a little dark. And I love it.
Get out of the water, quick! Get out! Get out! Stay calm! Stay calm!
Well, which one is it, Billy? There's a really mean shark swimming around. How do you expect people to, quick, get out of the water right now? But stay calm. Stay calm, everybody. Just calm down. Jeez, why are you all freaking out? You're giving me anxiety here. Jesus Christ. So now there's so much death and so many people running around that I guess Susie's wheelchair just starts rolling towards the water. And I guess Susie is unable to hit the brakes. I don't know. I just keep thinking about that scene in Back and Me where the brakes breaks. So now Vanessa dives in to save her from Cruel Jaws. And I don't know what this is supposed to be. Clearly this shot isn't from the same location. And even though Vanessa is clearly able to reach this plank of wood to help pull herself up, she decides to let go of it and to reach Billy's hand, which she clearly can't reach. And I don't know, I guess Cruel Jaws gets her, even though there's no shark here. Maybe Vanessa faked her death so that she didn't have to break up with Billy. And this would be the perfect cover. By the way, I hope you're all writing this down right now. Don't you take notes during this show? Fake shark attack equals way to get out of stuff. Mark my words, at some point, shark attack will be the next COVID in terms of excuses for stuff. Yeah, sorry, I can't come to your party. Shark attack. Yeah, prices are going up. Shark attacks. So Susie is rushed to the hospital for some reason.
Is Vanessa okay?
She's just fine. She's at home with Billy.
I'm sorry, what? She's fine? Oh yeah, Vanessa, she's fine. Like, she didn't look fine the last time we saw her. So what happened? What was with all the thrashing and the screaming and her getting pulled underwater and Billy losing his mind like, ah! What happened? What was that then? What was the point of that? Was there even a shark there? Why did she go underwater then? She trip? Did she just not know how to swim? Is that why Billy was freaking out? He knew that she doesn't know how to swim at all, and he's like, oh shit, she's gonna drown, and that's gonna be really embarrassing. See, this is why I have a love-hate relationship with the movies on this show. And this movie, I just hate wholeheartedly. I just think it would be hilarious if the doctor came in like, I'm sorry, I have some very bad news. The shark attack has left her without the use of her legs. Oh, what, she already had that? Oh, well then, she's perfect. I mean, obviously not perfect, but still, you know, here's your bill. So now you're probably thinking, great, here's another scene ripped off from Jaws. Well, that's where you're wrong, because this scene has a much more detailed drawing of the shark than in Jaws. It's even labeled. Also, for any of you taking part in the 10th anniversary giveaway, the code word for this video is Samurai Sword. So it turns out Sam is mixed in with the mob, and they're like, hey, we got a lot invested in real estate in this town, and now because of the shark attacks, the press are starting to poke around our business, which makes absolutely no sense. And I love Ronnie in the background here sneaking around trying to hear the conversation, as if anyone wouldn't be able to see that. So now Ronnie and his friends are off to kill the shark at the same time that Dag and Bill and Bob are off to do the same thing. Somehow this guy's binoculars are able to get a high angle view of the shark from the boat. So Ronnie just starts firing off the shotgun, but it doesn't really do anything. I swear, it's like the direction was act as horribly as you can so that no one will believe we were trying to make a serious film. The shark decides to bump into the boat and then just hover below the propeller to stop the boat from moving, even though the propeller is just shredding it up. So they throw some meat into the water and the shark comes up, and for some reason, Ronnie keeps hesitating, which I really don't understand. But then the line breaks and it knocks Ronnie into the water. So to help Ronnie, this chick, I don't know, seriously, it's like this character was supposed to have only half a brain. She starts shaking the gasoline jug, obviously spilling the gas all over them, and then what's-his-face shoots a flare gun through the gasoline. This has to be one of the dumbest things I've shown on this show, and it's because this wasn't the work of one person, it was two.
You're staying locked up in here until this is over!
There's a lot of tragedy in this part of the movie. People being blown up, people being eaten, people being forced to sleep on ugly sheets.
What's the wreck got to do with the shark? That ship was carrying a shark born in captivity. Top secret naval experiments. A death machine trained to attack the enemy.
How does Billy know this? I mean, what the hell? This was supposed to be top secret information. So then Billy is like, if we blow up the shipwreck, the shark will be blown up too because, you know, it lives there and stuff. Of course, Cruel Jaws finds the one mafia guy and eats him, which is quite cruel, but not as cruel as this guy's outfit. And you gotta love the attempt to edit this to make it look like the shark is attacking the boat, but that's what happens when all you have to work with is a low budget, horrible writing, and a lot of stolen footage. So after a lot of swimming and gun pointing and bomb planting, the shark chases Bob up to the surface and then the bomb explodes, killing the shark, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, the shark was following Bob up to the surface. Why wouldn't it attack the boat? It's done that every time. And look at how far away they are from the wreckage. So why would the shark be killed when it's not even close to the explosion? So now all is good, and Sam presents the $100,000 Kill the Shark Award to Dag, which I guess means that they're not being evicted, but still, you couldn't pay the rent because the aquarium wasn't making any money, so, you know, now what? This doesn't really solve the real problem here. I mean, yay, $100,000, but, you know, eventually, you're just gonna be back in the same situation. This doesn't make any, you know, whatever. Now, this movie was originally called The Beast, and in some areas, it was marketed as Jaws 5, even though it has nothing to do with the Jaws franchise. And when this movie was originally supposed to be released on Blu-ray, it was canceled because it has stolen footage, which honestly amazes me it was even released in the first place. But I don't really know all the details of what happened because eventually it was released on Blu-ray in 2020, and here we are. But that's pretty much it for this one. As usual, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and on this episode, I'm going to be talking about a shark movie that's really big, really mean. No. I'm going to start again. And this is where we get our first look into just how cruel Jaws really is cruel. I'd say that's pretty cruel. I mean, what are they going to do now? No, they're trapped down there. And in case you didn't know, humans can't breathe underwater. And to make matters worse, Ronnie is hot for Vanessa, who is clearly dating Vanessa. What? Mark, honestly. Ronnie is hot for Vanessa, who is clearly dating Vanessa. It's a self-love thing. I've got that going on. Had that going on for the past 3 years. Okay,